We have another battle of the dupes. Over here, we have Lattafa Eclaire versus Paris Corner's Taskeen Caramel Cascade. Which one is going to be victorious? Hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Aleisha Budget Beauty. My name is Aleisha. Here on my channel, I love all things affordable fashion, beauty, and fragrance. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, dupe battles, all sorts of fun things. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. So this is a continual, I guess, theme or little series that maybe I'm gonna start doing, just kind of fell into. I've had a lot of requests to try out some of these Middle Eastern dupes or just inexpensive dupes in general. And I told you guys that if you have requests, I don't mind taking them and possibly taking it upon myself to purchase them and review for you guys, as long as we're not talking like you're making me go out there and buy all the expensive niche fragrances. I do have some of those, but I'm probably not taking those requests. But a lot of you guys wanted me to try out Eclaire. I know I'm not the first one. Lots of people have already been on this train and loving it, but I did decide to go ahead and grab it. Now, I already owned the Taskeen Cascade, Caramel Cascade for quite some time. I've had this one. Eclaire is much newer to my collection. Now, if you don't know, these are both supposed to be dupes of Giardini di Toscana's Bianco Latte. Full disclosure, I have not smelled Bianco Latte. You guys hear me out. This may be fighting words because I know inevitably there will be someone who is a diehard of the OG who gets upset and they're like, there's no way it's as good. Like, you gotta try the original. Here's the thing. Like I said, I do have some high-end niche and designer high-end. I have a wide variety in my collection, right? For me personally, though, when it comes to a gourmand fragrance, I never really feel like gourmands smell that expensive. They may smell delicious. I love a good gourmand. I have a bunch in my collection, but I don't think that when I smell them, I'm like, oh, this is an elite. This is an expensive, exquisite fragrance. It's more like, that's decadent, that's fun, that's delicious, that's delightful, that's cozy. I don't think, in my opinion, it makes a lot of sense to spend a lot of money on a gourmand fragrance when they don't inherently smell that expensive just in their DNA. That's just my opinion. And Bianco Latte, though, I've seen for decent prices, maybe like $130. That is still very expensive. But in the niche world, it's really not. So it's kind of on the cusp. I draw the line at about like $120, $125 for something gourmand. But even at that, I don't like to pay even that for a gourmand. So yes, it may be ever so slightly better than one of these, but it's not, to me, $100 better. Even though I haven't smelled it, I can tell you right now, it's not, in my opinion. So let's get that out of the way. Okay. Let's talk about these two. Let's start with the first one that I have because my mind's kind of changed on it. Caramel Cascade. When I first got this fragrance, I was like, ooh, I love it. It's, you know, caramel deliciousness. It's milky, it's sugary, confectiony caramel. And they're honey. I do get honey in this as well, for sure. Half the people that I heard that got this sort of weird tire smell, a synthetic smell to it that my nose did not really pick up. Now, to be fair, I have seen people out there that say the same thing about Bianco Latte, that they were like, it's just not for me. It's that whole something about the mix of things smells like tires to them, even the expensive one. So there's definitely something that varies person to person with these. I had a friend that got this and she was just thought something was wrong with her. I want to say she even got a second one because people were hyping it up so much. And to her, she still was just getting like burnt tires, like chemical. Now, comparing it to Eclaire, which we're going to talk about in a minute, I don't think it smells like burnt tires. I don't get that. I don't get chemical either. However, I do think there's something a little synthetic that stands out in here, a little cheaper smelling that I didn't smell until I compared it to the other one. Now, if you guys don't know, this is caramel, this is milk, tonka, honey, and musk. And it has the same notes as Bianco Latte. The only difference is Bianco Latte says coumarin, this says tonka. Essentially, they're very, very close. Coumarin said to smell more like hay, but it can smell like almondy, and so can tonka. So very, very close in the actual notes. And I liked this a lot. But then, you guys, then I got Eclaire. And I think it is superior. Of the two, I think this is so much better than the Caramel Cascade. And sometimes you don't know until you compare to something else. When I smelled this one, very similar, I will give it that. Like, it's a lot of the same notes, but this one is milkier, smoother, less synthetic, more rich, silky caramel. There's also an added sugar note in here, and there's also praline. So it took the regular notes that Bianco Latte, Caramel Cascade had, and then added in the sugar and praline. And I don't know if it's that or if it's the balance. I do find it much milkier, whereas Caramel Cascade has more of this sharpness to it. This is just smoother and silkier. And it's interesting because the Paris Corner Taskeen Lactia Divina that I've been raving about, that's a dupe for Blanche Bet, man, that one is milky. Oh my gosh, it's milky and smooth and gorgeous. Somehow the Caramel Cascade didn't quite get there with the milk notes. I feel like that same sort of delicious milkiness that's in the Lactia Divina is what's in the Lattafa actually for this one. So I get so much of that yummy vanilla and caramel with this. The honey is kind of subdued in this as well. I don't think it's as forward as it is in the Caramel Cascade. So if you have difficulties with honey, which sometimes I do, and sometimes I really love it, but if you struggle with honey, the honey is very subtle in here. If you want something smoother, just like a Werther's Original, like those little block caramels that when you put it in your mouth, on your tongue, it just like melts all in. That's what I get from this. I think it's gorgeous. And as gorgeous as I think that this smells, it does not smell expensive. And I've heard from people who have smelled both Bianco Latte and this that they are identical. So if they're identical and it doesn't necessarily smell expensive but smells amazing, why would you pay $100 more for it? My mind, my budget beauty mind cannot wrap around that concept. So I say go for the Eclaire. Caramel Cascade tried, but I just think that they didn't do quite as good of a job. Eclaire is my winner. I thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you smelled them both. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know all the thoughts in the comments. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping, and smelling fabulous. Bye.